And Michael Moore took a position that Americans are afraid. What are you afraid of? It's like a sinner always hearing the footsteps of the police behind them. So they're always looking over their shoulder. No slave master can be comfortable with an awakening slave. No slave master can rest easy, because the slave now is becoming a problem in America. No jobs, no money. So you deal drugs to him, you deal guns to him. So he's a killer already, but he's insane in his killing. So Django Unchained might give direction to the bullets. Remember our mayor, he didn't tell them to stop shooting. He told them shoot straight, because you're killing innocent children. And the alderman that I sat with said, as long as our murder and drugs and gang violence was contained and did not ill affect the broader community, they didn't really care if it went on. Well, after 9/11, America needs something else now, because the guns of the militia may be directed at the government, but they're afraid of the rise of black men and women. So to me, when I saw the movie and came out, Sister Karima said a white lady came out in front of me with her husband, and she said to him, I won't be able to eat tonight. See? Now multiply that by the tens of thousands and the millions that will see the movie that are white. And multiply that by the tens of thousands of blacks that will see the movie and be encouraged to do what? Then the guns, 350 million of them, turn. Seemed to me that the message in that movie was to stir white people to the nature of murder and stir black people to be unchained, awake, and deadly. It's a prescription, in my judgment, for race war. And if that is what is being planned by those who guide sheep-like people, I want to warn you. You're really planning the death of America as a nation under the wrath of God, for the black man is no longer forsaken. I took time to answer that question because it was loaded with so much. I'll try to be shorter in some of my next responses.
Brother Minister, please, we really want you to continue to give such great analysis, insight that you are doing. I wanted to continue in a different way, but kind of on the same thing. You mentioned guns, which of course is related to violence. We are seeing now the fratricidal violence in the black community. We are seeing instances, for example, in the killing of Trayvon Martin, Chavis Carter handcuffed in a police car that many feel was the targeting of black males. Then you have the 20 children shot to death in Newtown, Connecticut, and 6 adults killed as well. These incidents of violence, are they different? Are they related? What do you see happening?
I see the society spinning out of control. You look in Greece, austerity measures, violence. You look in Spain, violence. You look in Italy, violence. You look in France and in the United Kingdom, violence. As the economy of the Western world begins to implode and collapse, and people that have been used to getting the finer things in life cannot get them anymore, then you will find people becoming more and more angry with their governments, more and more desperate, and then you'll find the tendency toward revolt, revolution, anarchy. So that's what I see happening. But what we just witnessed last night, what was going on in the U.S. Senate, and what was going on and will be going on in the House of Representatives, giving us a 2-month breather to continue madness. Those innocent children that were shot down in Newtown, the murderers of the children are in Congress right now. Why do I say murderers of a new generation of babies? Because if America and the leaders are too weak and cowardly to do what is necessary, then kicking the can down the road is sentencing babies in the future to the same violent death that we saw in Newtown. Either the president and the Congress must take on what is necessary to solve the problem. And the number one word is not just cutting the debt or cutting spending, raising taxes. The number one thing is, what are the American people ready to sacrifice in order to free future generations of what is going on now and will get worse in 2013? A culture of violence that will explode more in 2013 than in 2012, we're sorry to say.
Brother Minister, thank you. I'd like to come back to a political question a little later, but at this point I'd like to go to Brother Shad Muhammad, our assistant editor, and have him put some questions to you.
Thank you, Brother Richard. Brother Minister, over the past year and a half, you have been particularly effective interacting with the youth via social networking, answering hundreds of questions submitted via your popular Twitter feed, and you've also spoken on numerous college campuses across the United States.